St. Peter's Basilica is the largest cathedral in the world. It is so big that landmarks like the Statue of Liberty, Cinderella's castle at Walt Disney World, and the Sphinx in Egypt can all fit inside the center nave of the cathedral. As you can imagine, something this big comes with an even bigger price tag. In 2021, St. Peter's Cathedral was valued at $11 trillion. But if you ask me, its history and beauty are priceless. In 64 AD, Rome had a massive fire that destroyed most of the city. The evil Roman Emperor Nero needed to blame someone, and Christians became the perfect scapegoat. It was during this time, under the demented rule and fabricated lies of Nero, the Apostle Peter was crucified upside down and buried where his namesake, St. Peter's Basilica, sits today. Christianity was outlawed throughout the Roman Empire, and many Christians were martyred during the history of the early church. Historians estimate as many as 2 million Christians were killed for their faith over the span of 200 years. In 326, the Roman Emperor Constantine became the first Christian ruler and built the first church on the site of St. Peter's tomb. St. Peter's Church flourished and became a popular place for Christians to visit from around the world. During the Middle Ages, while on crusades, knights would even stop by to pay homage and visit this holy site. By 1502, St. Peter's was in desperate need of a major renovation. Pope Julius II felt that it was his calling to build a new cathedral. So, in 1506, construction began. You might recognize the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle names like Michelangelo and Raphael. Well, actually, long before they were ever known as cartoon superheroes, they were artistic geniuses during this time. Pope Julius II hired Raphael to become the lead architect after the previous architect, Bramante, unexpectedly died. Michelangelo, whose first passion was sculpting, designed the famous dome of St. Peter's. Sadly, neither man ever lived to see the completion of their accomplishments due to the fact that it took 150 years for St. Peter's to be completed. Almost as famous as the cathedral and dome is St. Peter's Square, designed by Bernini. In Matthew 16:9, Jesus says to Peter, "I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven." Bernini took these words quite literally and designed the whole square to be one big skeleton key. Whenever a new pope is to be chosen, crowds will stand in St. Peter's Square, which holds 300,000 people, awaiting the announcement of who their new pope will be. All eyes are on the small chimney that protrudes from the roof of the Sistine Chapel. Based upon the color of the smoke, determines whether or not a new pope has been chosen. If black smoke appears from the chimney, it means the cardinals did not agree on a new pope. If the smoke is white, the new pope has been selected and the crowd rejoices over the news. Since St. Peter's death, there have been 260 popes who have been chosen. If you are lucky, you might catch a glimpse of the Pope from his apartment window that overlooks St. Peter's Square. On Sundays, the Pope typically appears from his apartment window and will pray over the people standing in the square. I hope you enjoyed this little video and have learned something new.